make sure you press start recording. Check this out. So this is the C-17. I am not in Korea at the moment. I'm in a creative world. And the reason is because I'm still testing, still building, and I want to make sure that I can just keep going. Like, it's a lot faster to build in a creative world. So the main reason is that I don't have the electricity hooked up, and every time I spawn, I've got these two big hinges here, and there's some pivots on the roof as well, controlling the mast. So I've just got really excited about building this today, and I kind of just went a bit crazy. So I'll give you a bit of a tour of what's new here. So what I've done with the, let's start at the back, because I've got rid of the crane. I still want a crane, but I was trying to sort of just figure out all this stuff on the top, so I chopped the crane off. And then what I ended up doing is, because I chopped the tailgate off, I dropped it down this little grey bit here, and then it sort of wrapped around, and I was looking at Turbo Shark's flying ship, you know, because I figured this ship is extremely unstable as a boat, and if I get going pretty fast, just because of Stormworks, it's very likely to just take off into the air. So why not just design it from the get-go to be a flying boat? So this is now a flying boat. It's going to be able to drive through the water like a boat, but it'll have an option to go into a flying mode where it will just sort of work like a plane, I suppose. And anyway, I was looking at Turbo Shark's boat, and his is very curved on the bottom, so I decided to curve mine in a bit more. So I've got a 1x4 wedge, and then the 1x2 wedge, and it just gives it a little bit more curve. But what that does at the back, I had to poke out for the ladder, and then it comes in for my propellers, and then it can poke out again and then poke back in for the other side. And without the crane and everything there, it all went together quite well. I've left the controls here because I think this is still where I want the crane to be controlled from, but obviously this piece of window, little poking out thing, I thought it'd be really cool if you could be driving the boat and then just turn around and you can control the crane. So I was going to put like a control handle in here, but I think it'll need a bit of XML magic to, I think I'll have it where it can maybe like rotate in, maybe you hold it on a slight angle. Because when you're standing here, I tried it on the wall and you can look completely sideways and still see out very well. When it's directly in front, it blocks a lot of this middle view. So I'm thinking maybe like if it's off to the side here, like 45 degrees, then that lets you look around. It's not going to be in the way, but it's also not going to be like you're looking at the wall. And then what I've done with all this top stuff, so these two smokestacks came off my career boat, one of my career boats that's called like the newest career boat. So I gave them a bit of a chop and then just sort of stuck them on there. But they will be functional. So I'm using these heat sinks at the top. So there's a heat sink on each side of this. There's one on the left, one on the left, one on the right, and they are XML stretched to be 2 blocks wide, I think. So the hitbox is only 1, but they stretch out so it looks like they take up this 3 wide space. And I did this because it looks cool, but because they're also, they're not a solid block, so all the exhaust can go through them. So what I might do, because I think the way I've done it, there's nothing in the middle, so I might bring a pipe up to the top and try and hide it a bit better at the very top, so that when the smoke's coming out of there, it's coming out from the top and not in the middle. The way it worked in my career boat is it was like this down below it, so it could actually come out like from the side, I suppose, from about here, somewhere in the middle. And then what I can also do is use the air. I can use this as an air intake because it's really high, so that'll be good. But the way I'm connecting it to the rest of the ship, to the main boat, where is it? Hard points. 2 hard points. So one can be exhaust and one can be air, and that's pretty easy. And then both of the smokestacks can work to chuck out smoke and bring in air. And then I'll just have to route that down through the wall somewhere, which shouldn't be too hard. Because I've got this overhang thing, I should be able to come right down to the bottom, poke into here, and then go down, then find a spot somewhere below. So while I'm down here, everything's gone. All the engine, all the room, the ladder, the stairs, it's all gone. There's 2 ways that you can make something levitate in Stormworks that I know of at the moment. One of them is the wheel glitch, where you use a wheel and you jam something up into the suspension and it chucks it up in the air. And the other way, which I just learned about, is to use fluid jets. So here's my fluid jet. So a fluid jet in an enclosed space like this, there's one in each corner. One in each corner. If I fill this up with water and then suck water in from here and then shoot it back out, even though the fluid jet's totally encased, it will still create thrust. So one in each corner will let me control pretty much every kind of orientation of movement, I suppose. It'll let me go up and down. It should let me roll, pitch. It'll let me yaw as well. So yeah, I should have full control from water jets. And they're just like recycling water, so I don't even need to be in the water for that to work. What else is on here? That's all that's really going on there. I've kept the storage room. I think this cargo room, the idea of this boat is like it's a recovery cargo kind of boat. So I think having the cargo space is really important. And that's kind of, I want to keep some spirit of the original in here anyway. So having this and then having the separate room is all very original. I think there'll have to be a ladder here, because the space is just so tight now with the water jets in the corner. But a ladder's not the end of the world, especially if you're not trying to move cargo up and down. What else? Then the mast. So the mast is actually very tricky. There are pivots here in the underneath where the smokestacks connect. And basically this dark grey piece and the mast fold down in between the 2 smokestacks. And on spawn, they get it's a velocity pivot. And they get a signal of 1. And it's very violent, but it swings that up before the 2 smokestacks can pivot up. And then it locks in with 2 hard points. I also moved the, there was that 45-degree ridge along the top. So now it actually goes the other way. It sticks out and angles back down into the window. And that just runs the whole way along. Still got the ladder on the side, but I've moved it forward a little bit, so now that it matches up with the door. And on the front, I've put in the winch. So I decided that this little gap is fine for walking through. You can get through that. I poked out the very bow, so very tip of the bow, and now extends out over 1 block. And that was mostly to accommodate a winch going in here. So this is my anchor position now. Then I've got a little bit of a slope to help sort of define the space the anchor can sit in. And then this little bump so that it shouldn't get caught if it's coming up or down on the bow. On the sides, I've got these little wings. They don't actually do anything. I don't know if they ever will do anything, but they rotate out. At the moment, they don't rotate because I was having sort of a bit of a problem. This block here, I want to put in a laser distance sensor. I had it working before, so it will work. And basically that's going to check if I'm in the workbench like this. So if there's like a dock or a wall directly beside the boat, it won't extend these little winglet things. But then once you get out and you've got enough space, they'll open up automatically. The problem is that the block in front of the laser distance sensor counts as part of that block. So this grey ridge thing, that's the very limit of the workbench on both sides. But what I can do, I can build this boat in a wider workbench, put the laser distance sensors in, and then spawn it in this workbench, and that's totally fine. And then it'll all just work. So that's going to have to be the trick for getting that to work. So I think today I'm just going to do some decoration. Maybe I'll build the crane and maybe I'll build the engine. But I don't really want to do too much logic, and I'm probably not going to do a mission. So yeah, it'll be a lot of decoration, a lot of building systems out on this. So let's get this back to a workbench. I'll do it in this workbench, I think. It'll help me understand where my limits of everything are. First I need to paint this because this is bothering me. I think I might start up here and get the control handle in. I can put it in here like that, and that's not too bad. But what I might be able to do, let's see. I'll have to use like this space, I think, for a pivot. And I want to be able to pivot it over to 45 degrees, or I can use, there's space in the walls, I think. Huh. Wait, that's too much. Why is it going so much? Unless, no, yeah, it's going too much. A positive number, because it's got to extend, and then I think the constant number here is getting jammed. I think it's maybe extending too much anyway. That's goofy. Why would you want that? It's got to be like right over next to it. That doesn't help. What if I put it right in the wall? Oops, like this. And then try and smooth out around it. Don't like that though, this is goofy. There's not really any good way to do that. It's because it's such a narrow space and to begin with. It's like, I wonder if I need to do the wedges the other way so the space is open, but then the doorway is real narrow. And I can't make this any wider because my smokestacks are already at a set width because of the way that the heatsink is being stretched. The other option is maybe I have one smokestack and I go real asymmetrical, so push it across a little bit more. But I don't know if that's, it could work. What if I just get rid of this smokestack? Let's try it. I can always try it if I save the file and then don't like it, I can just come back. I'll get it out into the water and see what it looks like out in the open space. I don't hate it. I mean, that's annoying. It looks weird and I like it. I like it because it looks weird. Maybe it looks too weird though. And I think it looks too weird because of the like bars in the window. If they were just real big windows, it'd probably be okay. Look at all the view though, like if you're working on something. You know, I really like it. I really do like it. Because what if all I've got to do is move this hinge over. Bop, bop, bop. And then I shouldn't have done that. I should do this because the logic tool's still connected. Merge, merge, put that there, put another block. So now that's all centered, and then this can go across. Okay. We're gonna call it C17 single stack. Just in case I want to come back to the dual stack. If I can sort out this window and maybe some of the spacing in here, because like maybe I need to fill up this spot up here and I need to have a wall through here anyway. If I kind of need to move that pivot, you know, like rotate it the other way. If I rotate that pivot, then I can just do that. The problem with this now is that it is an even number, and we don't like even numbers. It doesn't look as good, does it? It needs to be like the whole width across for it to look nice. I can't seal the top if I don't have... If I don't use the stock windows, there's not really any way that I can seal this room up the top. And I want to have it sealed because it adds buoyancy. And it means if the ship's upside down, then it's not going to have water rolling in here. Yeah, it needs to expand, eh? Like it needs to not have that. Because I think what it was doing is like directing the space kind of on this angle. Because it's wider here, and then it would be wider over in this corner as well. I've run into the same problem as before, where we have an even number, and it's not an even overall number, but it's an even number in the middle. So it's like 3, 1, 3. Wait, it is an even number. It's 8. Grr. So I could bring it back then. I could just go straight along here, and then that would give me 7. I really like having a single smokestack and it being asymmetrical, but the like glass cab thing, it doesn't look the same. Like it's in the very kind of how would you say? It looks like a noob built it. That's my hard point. I can't delete that. I think I'm better off sticking with 2 and just sort of trying to wrangle my way through this. So you can just leave a handle in the wall like this, and what I could do is put some wedges in, and that'll seal up the area and still let me grab this handle. But then it's like, you're using wedges, you might as well smooth out this piece. But then, since it's over here, I might as well smooth out all this. What if I do a 4? Because a 4 would be, you know, like the nicest looking. And then I have to fill in that gap, and so then I probably end up with that sort of thing. I kind of don't like that you can see the whole character's body though if you're like looking down. I want it here. Urgh. How can I do that? Okay, so I'm here, right? If that rotates over to there, if there's a pivot directly below me, which means I can't do any of this though. This would all have to be solid. That's not good, but I can do this. Where am I though? Am I in a wall? Yeah, I'm in a wall. So when I leave, I get chucked under it, and then it's harder to get into it. This is what I want though, I want it over there. So imagine if the pivot is kind of there, I think. If you want this to pivot, I need it to be across to the right and probably back as well. Oh, that's good. That is perfect. It's definitely colliding with something, and I think it's the handle that's colliding. I mean, that's what I wanted. Because now I'm standing in a, if I rotate it back a little bit. This is a better standing position, but yeah, and it's like, bleh, chucked me under it though. What do I do? Okay, let's go back to the single stack. Let's figure this out. I need to have like a 3 in the middle or a 1 in the middle, which means I'm probably going to go 2, 3, 2. Okay, let's have a look at this. Yeah, I just don't like these windows. They make me feel gross. This here is though 3 with 2 on the side, and this is 3 with 2 on the side. So the only difference is this bar going around the middle. Why do I need such a big window, maybe, is the question. Do I need such a big window? If I chop it down... yeah, I don't need to be looking up so much, do I? What if I do this? Oop. Come on, you silly window. This is not going to work. This is not going to work because of the corner and I'm doing inverted stuff. Wow, that was violent. It's so extremely violent. I mean, that's stupid. Why would you have a crane viewing platformy area if you can't see up? Okay, we're going back to double stack. Why don't I like double stack? Why do I like single stack over double stack? I think there's such little space on this boat that using a lot of it for another smokestack is not worth it. I don't like the inefficiency of the space allocation. So maybe it doesn't need to be a smokestack. Maybe I just need to expand this a little bit and keep this hinging thing, right? If I get rid of 2 of this, so let's get rid of, I need to save this as something else because I'm deleting the symmetrical smokestack. Is it called a smokestack, by the way, or am I just like making up stuff? Because yeah, I want this, right, so that it all looks all nice over here. And maybe that's just flat there. I can put something else in there. No problem. And then this is 3, so if I plus 2, my window will look real weird, won't it? Please give us better windows. I feel like this is the solution. Yes. Window. Oh, caps lock. Okay, so now I should do the 1. This one? Yeah, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, that one. Zoosh. Zoosh. And I'm going to put the big window. How do I do this? I need a 1. We'll go little window, big window, little window. And then little-ish window. Boom, boom. It's like I need to flip these. So maybe I can just cut this whole thing. Cut, I, paste, bump, bump, bump. And I'm not even going to bother cutting the other side. I'll just paste on the one I already cut. So now I can probably get rid of this. Wait, why would I get rid of that? I really want to do the wedges like this so that it kind of opens up as you go into here. But it means, oh, does that mean that's not sealed? Yeah, that wouldn't be sealed if I do that. So I would have to do this. And that's kind of dumb, but Is acceptable. Is acceptable. Okay, yeah, and then you need to do these kind of... See, that feels like a really nice amount of space, you know? So I've got my single smokestack. I can put something on here. It could be like an APU or a generator or something. It's still got the same silhouette as this piece. Except maybe I need to round off that edge. Then you come up here. And how did I set this up? Jeez, I just want to see where I'm standing. I mean, I don't even need to use this. I could put a seat here now. Or I could really put it over to the side. Yeah, I feel like that works so much better. So much better. Let's get rid of this handle then, because I don't know. I think the handle was a reflex of not having much space. But if I have like this much space for a seat, where you can like walk around. I wonder if I should put a window in the floor then. It doesn't need to be a huge amount of window. No, because what I want is like, I want like that window. That could work. Seat, compact pilot seat, so you get like a joystick. I'll have to offset that though, because you won't be able to get around. Oh, it looks dumb, doesn't it? I caught a glimpse of it on my way in. I would need to make this a window, I think. Maybe not this one. It's like it's too high for this kind of position. You need to be standing up here, or the seat needs to be raised up heaps. In which case... What if I just chop that and go bop bop? And then this can be filled in. Oh, I can run that. Might be onto something. Yeah, and then I guess I need to replace this with a window of some kind. Could use these new ones maybe, because I'm going directly into a wall, I think. I think that's how these work. That's a little disappointing. I bet the old window handles that better. Yeah, it totally handles that better. Totally. Wait, I can just, what am I doing here? What is all this? Wait, I should probably leave these because I could put instrument panels and things. Let's get rid of that. Maybe not that last one. Copy you. Bop. Is that not far enough? Not far enough. There we go. Okay, so now there's just a bit of a step up. I feel like it looks like it came off another vehicle now. This should like do that. It should look really heavily supported. Yeah, because now I've got like I've got a higher up vantage point. My windows aren't all yucky because I don't have like bars going through them. If I decide to put the crane in the corner, I can totally see the crane, and I should be able to see everywhere else on the deck. I can put some like instrument panels in the roof if I wanted to. It's easy enough to get in and out of that. I think if the other side of where the smokestack was a little bit more interesting in detail, then it would totally work. Totally. I'm way happier with this. This looks cool. I think the windows are still a bit garbage because that's just like Stormworks windows. If we had the ability to do like a 3x5 and then the same with there and just make it one huge window, that would look really nice. Let me save this. We're gonna call this one as the single stack. Let me get some windows and just do some testing. Okay, have a look at this. Would this be preferential? I might have to actually spawn it in with this window as well. I think that's in the right place. Paste. Wow, it's all like... it's all goobed over it. Okay. Look at that. The frame's a little thick. Wow. I mean, that just makes it look so much better. And that's a 1 by whatever window. 1 by 3 windows. So that's why the border's real fat. I think the bottom window is also like on the outside. So it means that there's more space inside. It's not taking up the hitbox inside. But maybe that's why it looks like it sticks out a little bit more. Imagine if there was no bar in the middle. Imagine if the developers just implemented Thales windows into the game. Crazy. It would be so good. So this means that the top floor, this room is not sealed. Water can get in here, which is not good. I actually don't like how fat this is when I'm sitting here, because look how much it blocks out. That's basically the whole area of where I want to put the crane base. That is not ideal. And it's kind of there only because the whole thing is offset. So we'll stick with the default windows for now. Hopefully the developers do something about the windows, because I don't want to use mods. I need to think of something that can go into this thing. It probably doesn't need both these hard points. It's only like the back side of it that needs to change if I want to make it symmetrical to this. So let's do that, because that's an easy fix that might have a big visual impact. See, that's not really a big change, not a lot of blocks changed, but the visuals are quite different. I feel like there would just be a grill or something on the side of that, and maybe it rounds off on the top. I could put a radiator fan, actually. A radiator would look quite nice. Rad. Like this? Like that? I think it should be 1 higher, but that's okay because... See, I need to get this like... connection piece thickened up a little bit, but then it's totally fine because I wanted to do maybe something like this. Gives it a bit more height compared to the top of the hull or the top of the bridge. The reason I put the radiator on there is because you can make it move. So as a decorative piece, just adding some motion really helps sort of sell the idea. I think that's good. What I could actually do also is stretch that radiator. Because if it's just going to be decoration, cut this, push it into there, paste that, cover that with probably just normal blocks. And I'll do this now because this is the only radiator in here. It'll be really easy to find. So if I change the thickness of this radiator, I've just XML edited it. It'd be good if I could capture that as well. See, now it's a real fat boy. Because all I want is the fan. I don't really care about the rest of the radiator. So 3 width on the XML will mean it comes out to... This is 1 block. Then you have 3. Oh, it's going to poke out on the other side. See, like, then I can just do this. And I've got a fan. Wait, and the inside of this, these pipes are going to be in the wall somewhere. This might work. I mean, that's a very interesting thing. I've never really seen that kind of fan on anything before. But you can see the pipes. They're already poking through. Okay. I could rotate it so the pipe is there, and I guess it would be up, and then put a block in there or something. The other thing would just be like, just not do that. Just put it there like a normal person. Just say, there it is. There's the radiator. I'm going to do that. I'm going to save that. I think that's something interesting to add. So let's finish up the crane controls, because I'm pretty happy with the way this is going to work. I don't think I need any instruments in here necessarily, but I need some kind of stairs or something to get up here. You can get through here okay, so what I might do is like wall off one side, leave a 2-block space, maybe like that. No, I can't do that. Can I do that? And then maybe if I do like a stepping step like that, man, you'd wreck your feet on that, eh? Clip your ankles, you'd be dead. What about handles? What about doors? I like the door because it's got a little... It's very small though, isn't it? Very small. What about a stair? What about a stair? I think I'd be happier with like an ammo box, to be honest. Or a HUD. HUDs are expensive, but they do look nice. Something like that. That looks gross. Don't you think that looks gross? How can I do that? How can I build a little ramp? Stairs. Stairs, you say. Well, it looks like stairs, but isn't stairs. I'm still thinking about the stairs, okay? Still thinking, this is how this goes. You need to like figure out what bits can be used for what. Okay. Man, it looks like a TIE fighter, don't you think? With that kind of like octagon thing, which is good. We've got octagons here, we've got octagons there. This little block, I'm going to XML, which I can probably do now. I can probably load my truck parts. I should probably just like make a new file and call it XML parts. It doesn't need to be, I'm not only building trucks these days. I'm going to bobbity bop, boop. And I'll leave that block there. So there's one block here, and then there's technically a block in that corner where that thing goes into. Get rid of all this. Bop, 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 bop. What am I gonna do? I could just do a step like that. I mean, that's not bad, is it? I like that this is symmetrical though. Okay, so you sit down in your seat, and then you need like a display or something, I think, to tell you like the length of the winch and whatnot. Maybe a little 2x display. It'd be good if I could put that where the window is. What about a 1x? What about that? Okay, so you can come along, you can just get into the seat. Ooh. That's cool. What? I should have put in a dial so I know how far down that is. Yeah. And then up on this, I could have like all the information about the crane. It's not very heavy, is it? But it only needs to come down like this. Oh, it starts to spaz. It could even be only like half of the display. I don't need all of it. Man, look, I can like bring it down to there. And it like, you lose nothing. That's like half the display. Okay. What am I looking for? I want a dial. I want to dial so that I can see what rotation that is actually at. So you put a dial there, connect that to my WS, which is controlling the 2 pivots on a sticky input. Have a look, come and have a look. Okay, so I need to go up. It's like 0.2. So when you get to 0.4, 0.3, it starts to get mental. 0.25, that's a lot of HUD, right? 0.25. 0.25 is a good number and a lot of HUD. So 1x1. This is my logic wall, by the way. I didn't show you what this is about. Because I'm like working with such a limited space, crane dash pivot rotation. It's a long name, but it makes sense, you know. So yeah, because I'm working with such limited space, if I put all my logic around the build like I normally would, then I'm going to run into issues where I'm accidentally deleting things. But if I do this and just have it all smushed out over here, shush, shush, I'm definitely not putting anything out here, right? Because this is like the corner of my bow. I can't really fit anything because the ship's right up against the very front. I've put the anchor on the other side. So it's just like a storage area for junk, I guess. So yeah, it means that all of this space is free to put anything in. There's no microcontrollers anywhere in here. I'm not going to accidentally delete some logic, and I'm not going to overwrite anything. Now, the problem I've just created for myself is that has unsealed everything. I'm a big dummy. I need to like do it the other way. So if I press I should rotate it. No. O. And or I just bring it in 1. Let's go back. So O. So this is the normal rotation it was already on. The thing is you need to seal above the window. Is that too close? I mean, that's the kind of like out of the way. You can look up, you can push the button. I think that is fine. And then all I need to seal is this kind of like, what is it, 3x5 or 2x5 area. So all of this stuff goes, how does that even clear that, to be honest? Oh, it's like the, it's so violent. It's the little wing things on the mast that are touching the wall of this window. So nothing major that I need to worry about. What I do want to have a look at though, so this is my boat. Now let's have a look at Turbo Shark's boat. Obviously I can't load it. I need to load it this way. I just want to get some ideas because I feel like I'm building the same kind of style. I really like Turbo Shark's stuff. And I remember looking at the top and he's got all this weird junk on the roof. Oh, my smokestack's nearly identical, except I think I used 4s on this end. Also, my insides are way smarter. What's this? What's this mess? Anyway, I like this, you know, I like this little box thing. Oh yeah, a fluid port. That's kind of what I wanted to look at and just see if there's any like goofy looking things. What is this? Ah, rockets into manifolds. Okay. Okay. So I could do the same kind of thing, right? I could go, it was 2 blocks high, that one. See, I have to go all the way across. I really did like the fluid port, this piece. Oh no. Wait, how am I able to place this? I thought I didn't have any space on top. What? Have I just gained space? How did that happen? Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Is that good? That seems bad. Why would I suddenly have space? Also, get rid of that. Okay, so I'm going to do something like this. I wanted to put a radiator, but a radiator won't seal this spot. It has to be solid like that. But the back of it doesn't necessarily have to be flat. It could also be like this. Aha. Wait, and does it even need to go all the way? No, it only needs to come right to there. So I could do that. I could do that. I could do this. I might get one of these big fluid ports and just plonk that on the... Oh, I can't. Okay, I can't. Don't worry. What about the heatsink? The heatsink would fit. Like that would be fine. I want to heatsink into fluid port. Do I want to do that? Is this in the middle? It's not though, is it? No, it's not. It's offset, which is fine. Totally fine. I want to cut it forward a little bit because I want to make sure I keep this consistent border around the heatsink. No problems going up. Oh, my flag's not connected to anything anymore. My pirate flag. Okay, I like this. This works. And I can use some pieces like fluid ports along the side. Give it a little bit more depth. I actually do... What do I want to do? I actually am more of a fan of doors, I think, for depth. Doing the door edge. Doing it like that, so there's this little gap. Spin that around. I like that a lot more, but I could also use a fluid port. No, make sure it's going the right way, that way. Horizontal lines imply speed, so if I do it this way, it implies speed of the moving ship, moving boat. And now that I've discovered I have another block of height. Yeah, okay. Maybe I should put something along the side here. I really like desalinators. I think they're a really goofy, weird looking piece. It's a bit long for there. Pumps, maybe a pump. Nah, it's a bit weird. Whistle? Nah. Heat exchangers are always really good. Really good go-to. I want to cover these, right? This one covers that. So I've covered up my pivot completely. I've got the same kind of angle running around the side there. The thing in the middle looks all right. I did delete some doors on this side, so it's a little bit strange. With a bit of extra detail on this thing, it'll be fine. I wonder if this should expand, you know? I wonder if it should come all the way up to the ladder, because what is that? 1, 2, 3 block. I think that makes it look more integrated, you know? More like a thing. A thing that's part of it rather than... Wait a minute. Why am I doing that? Because I can just place this up here. Damn it, I'm so stupid sometimes. Okay, so it would be like that. It'll hook up, cover that, cover that up, and then we've got this thing. I'd really like to put a rail up here, but I don't know how. No idea how I would get that to pivot up there. What does that look like? Nah, it's the actual frame. It's the frame above the window. It doesn't matter what's on top. There's something wrong with the frame. I think one long fluid port would look best here, but then I'll need some kind of thin block to hide behind it because the holes in the fluid port reveal blocks that are like their full hitbox. This one here is what I want. See how it's doing this is like You can still see the fluid ports behind it. I'm thinking a track should be okay because it's like not the full width. You can kind of see it though. Okay, what is a block? A wedge? A wedge would do it, wouldn't it? You can see a little bit of the wedge. Wait, if I do an angled window though, I might as well use a wedge. Yeah, because you're going to see that little strippy stripe. I could use this window maybe. It's got a little teeth. But that goes up and then interacts with this piece here. So actually that is sealed. What's this look like? I mean, it's all right. I can see the little teeth. Little face. I like this though. I really like this. Having just a little bit of display, I'll have to figure out how I'm going to display things on this because I've only got half the height, but it should be okay. I like the decorations. They're probably a bit unnecessary at this point, and I think, you know what? This thing here needs to be taller. This thing needs to be way taller. Well, not way taller, but taller. I think when you leave it, if it stays the same height as the roof, then it makes it look like it should have been part of the roof. Like, why is it there doing its own thing? Maybe this should be full height as well then. And if that is the case, then this should be a 2x1 wedge. Oh wow, that's disgusting. Who did that? Absolutely not. I think this big chunky piece could be... Oh, nah, it's gross. It's just gross. It's, how do I describe this? What feeling does it give me? It gives me the feeling of vomit. No, I'm trying to think of how I can describe why I don't like that. Why I don't like what it does. It's too tall, and I think the height on it... It's pulling away when it's too high, like it's pulling your eye away from what's going on the roof, and it's making me feel like it's not believable that it would be that way. It makes me feel like if someone was engineering it, they would have looked at it and gone, it doesn't need to be that high for a little vent. This looks okay, you know. I think that's fine. Maybe I can put some more decorative pieces through here, and the stack is probably okay as well. I like how that's all turned out. I think these rope anchors might need to go. They were there to hold on to the tires, but the tires stick out one too far on the very back part, so I might have to get rid of those tires. So yeah, I think if I put a crane over here, and I'll probably need to get the tailgate back somehow, it can probably fit into that slot, or maybe it can like bend down, and maybe it could go down right into the water. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, I think a crane, pop a crane in, make it so you can control the crane from here. So I'll need to figure out more controls, I suppose. Up here, I still need to work on this entryway, but I think once I put like some more seating or something up here, it should be fine. This display is really good. It's just going to output probably the crane's rotation and the length or something like that. Maybe it'll have some controls on it to move some spotlights around. I can use these spots down the side to bring up some instrument panels. Probably not this side. I'll have to leave this clear. I can actually get trapped in there, so that's not very good. Yeah, some instrument panels down this side. Keep that clear. Put some controls up on the display. I need some lights in here. There'll most likely be a ladder that goes down here. I want to try a steam engine, so steam pistons, and I reckon I can put that in here somewhere. I don't think I need too much space in here for people. Like, it doesn't need a medical bay or anything, even if it's going to be used as a rescue boat, which, I mean, it's not intended to be used as a rescue boat, but it is kind of, it fits within the starting boat spawn, so if I can make it into this, like, ultimate starter boat, that would be really good. So maybe up the front when you come down, there could be, like, a medical spot, or I could just put some seats in the storage area. If I put seats along the back wall, then you can always just put people in here. This door could probably go a bit quicker. Yeah, I mean, it feels like I maybe didn't do too much today, but I am happy that I've got a single smokestack now. My throat is starting to kill me. I like the design, I like what I've got. I think having the crane thing on the back is good. This is good. Getting out of it sucks. Maybe I can move this seat over. If you've got any ideas you think I could implement, leave a comment. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.